Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jenica. Nice to meet you. How's it going? Today's video is going to be a full face of drugstore makeup. Everything that I picked up in my last video, I'm going to be trying it out on my face today. Most of this I haven't tried yet at all, so if you're interested in seeing what's good at the drugstore, then keep on watching. Okay, so now that we're looking cute with our little headband, the first thing I'm going to try is the NYX Angel Veil Primer. And I actually have another primer that I didn't haul in my last video, but it's the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. This is kind of like a dupe for the Tarte Poreless Primer. It also comes in like a pot. So I'm going to do the Angel Veil on this side of my face and then the Pore Primer on this side, just to give you guys like two different primers. We're also going to do like two bronzers, two highlights, because there's a lot of like duplicate stuff that I picked out and I just wanted to try as much as I could. So this is the Angel Veil side. Again, this is supposed to be like a dupe for the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, but we'll see if that's actually the case. Oh, I forgot to wet my sponge. I'll get up and do that in a minute. It feels really good. Not too silicone-y, but not quite like a moisturizer either. Like, it does feel a bit silicone-y, like it helped even everything out. Like, I feel like softer and smoother on this side. And then this is the L'Oreal Pore Filling Primer. So this is definitely a lot thicker, and you can tell that it's made for like filling in your pores here. Both of these primers are, I would say, more silicone-y compared to like a moisturizing primer, but not as slippery as like the Benefit Porefessional. Okay, so now going in with foundation. I didn't haul anything in my last video, so I'm just gonna go in with this drugstore find, the Maybelline 24 Hour Super Stay Foundation. It's definitely a more full coverage foundation, and I don't know, I just kind of felt like a full coverage kind of vibe today, so let's do this. The shade that I'm using is 112 Natural Ivory, in case you're curious. So I'm just gonna dot this over my face. Okay, so on this side of my face, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. sponge that I got. I did wet it and it did expand a lot. It's pretty soft. And then on this side of my face, I'm gonna go in with the Real Techniques brush. So starting off with the sponge side, this is usually a more full coverage foundation. I don't know if I have put enough down, but I tend to start small because I don't like super cakiness right now. It seems to be blending out okay. Like, I've got a pimple over here right now, and I think that covered up pretty nice. Like, my skin tone is much more evened out on this side. The sponge does look like it picked up a little bit of product, but nothing like crazy, and it feels soft. Okay, going in with the Real Techniques brush. I usually use like a flat top kabuki, so this is interesting. Definitely getting a bit more coverage. That's to be expected though. And again, it's not the brush's fault, but I do think that it's emphasizing more of my texture than like the sponge does. So it blends it out. I do think that it actually took a little bit more time with the brush, which is a little bit strange. I guess just because it's so small compared to like a flat top kabuki, which I usually use, to get like a really even finish. But what do you guys think? I will say I want to put a little bit more foundation over this blemish, so I'll probably go in with a brush for that, but I want to smooth everything out with this sponge. And this foundation does dry like pretty quickly, like down to more of like a matte finish. So I don't necessarily need to set this, which is nice. Now we've got a nice base going on. I like the sponge, I will say that. The brush, I'm not sold on yet. Let's see how it applies concealer. So I have two concealers to try out. The first one is this Essence Camouflage Matte Concealer. And then the second one is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. In the Essence, I got shade 20 Light Ivory. And then in the Milani, I got shade 115 Light Nude. So Milani's going to be on this side and Essence is going to be on this side. Or I guess I should blend it out right away, so just in case it dries quick. So that's the Milani. Try it with the brush first. I usually blend out my concealer with sponges, I'll be honest. but let's just give it a go. We got coverage, so that is good. Wow, lots of coverage. Just gonna go over it with the sponge. The brush, I will say, definitely blended out that concealer nicely. So I would prefer that brush for concealer over my foundation. I think that concealer looks really nice. Like, look at how much brighter this eye looks. That's the Milani. And it dries down pretty quick. Like, I know I just put it on, but there's no creasing yet. So let's give that a minute. I'm not going to set it. And we'll see if I get any creasing, because it does seem more of a matte finish. Both of these are supposed to be. So let's go in with the Essence Camouflage on this side. Flipping the brush over. I'm going to blend it out with this brush again. Hopefully there's not much cross-contamination between the concealers. I flipped the brush over. Again, this blended out the concealer pretty nice. This side just looks like heavier though. So I'm going to go over it same as before with the sponge. Okay, that definitely helps. So I think with the brush, it's just like a lot. They both look like decent coverage. I do think the Milani is like a hair more. And so far I'm liking how the Milani is sitting just a little bit more. Like it's a bit less dry. I will say Milani is starting to crease a little bit, but I haven't set it. So that's not bad. So now concealers are done, foundation is done. We're gonna try out this L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwater Powder Foundation. So I got mine in the shade 120 Vanilla. I don't know, it might be like a bit too dark for me. So I'm gonna try and go in with the little applicator that it comes with. I tried this once already. I don't remember what I thought. I think I was just shade matching. So we're just gonna go over this. I think it's a bit too deep to set under my eyes. So I'm not going to set under my eyes with it. I'm just taking it on my face. And then on the other side, I'm going to try it with a brush. So this is the Laura Lee Los Angeles L13 brush. I do think it adds a bit of coverage, which I wasn't sure if it was going to. I know it's a powder foundation, but I don't usually use these things to add coverage so much. I just carry them in my purse as more of like a blotting thing. I know that's not what it's supposed to be, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm definitely noticing the Essence concealer seems to just look a little bit more textured, but I'll give it another go. I am going to set the top of my eyes, my eyelids, just briefly with this because I like doing eyeshadow over a powdered base. So base is looking pretty good right now. Besides the applicator and the brush, I mean, I think you get a little bit more coverage with the sponge, but it's not it's really not too big of a deal. Like, it doesn't look cakey with the applicator sponge. It's all just like your preference, you know. But no, I think that's looking nice so far. What do you guys think? So now let's try the eyeshadow palette. So I only got one. It's the Makeup Revolution Ultimate Nudes palette in the light edition. So just gonna do something really simple. Taking a fluffy eyeshadow brush in the middle shade here. It's just like a, I don't know, white-ish shade. Just gonna make sure everything is set with that color. I really just use shades like that to blend out the other colors and to set everything down. Then I'm gonna go in with this light pinky corally type of shade on the same brush. Not much to say about it. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to. It is really light. Like, obviously this is their light edition of the palette. This isn't going to work on deeper skin tones, but they did have a medium and a dark option as well. So for my skin tone, seems to be working. I prefer like buildable shadows most of the time compared to like just pigment. And that's what this is giving me right now. Like, it could be more pigmented, but I'm not mad at it. It's building up nicely. So now I'm going to go in with this bottom pink color. These two are very similar, so Just gonna build it up some more, see how that looks. I think the one I'm dipping into now is slightly darker. So now I'm gonna switch brushes to something a little bit more dense. This is the Luxi 213 eye shading brush. So it's just more densely packed, and I'm gonna go in with, let's see, this darker cool tone shade here. It's like a purpley mauve. I'm working that in the outer corner-ish. It's definitely lighter than I thought it would be. Can you even see it? Barely. Okay, so not loving that color, honestly. Barely noticeable. Let's try this dark brown. Dark-ish brown. We're getting like a little bit of fallout. Not a massive deal considering the concealers are more matte, and I'm probably gonna go in on the lower lash line, like about there anyway. This one, it's more noticeable, but honestly it's not as pigmented as I want it to be. Like my e.l.f. quads perform a lot better than this. Yeah, it's just not as deep as I'm trying to get it, you know? And I'm like kind of digging in here. It's just not as dark as it should be. I'm also gonna try and dust away this fallout. It brushes away pretty easily, so that's good. But like it's not doing it for me. Like it's not dark. Yeah, I'm not loving the mattes in this palette at all. I'm gonna actually go in with my e.l.f. quad and deepen this up some more. So using this e.l.f. quad here, it is Cream and Sugar. So just gonna go into that dark brown and try and deepen this up some more. Like right away, you can tell that that is deep. That is pigment, honey. That's how it should be. And these quads are actually more affordable than the Makeup Revolution palette, so just goes to show you, man, it's not about the price. Yeah, I definitely prefer what this is doing to me. That's that palette. I mean, good enough. Let's go in with one of these shimmery colors. I really like this one for some reason. So just on my finger, it looks really nice. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, the mattes are trash, but these shimmers are really pretty. Can't even lie. Like that is pretty. And that's like a dry finger. That's not any glitter glue or anything down there. Okay, so that is what the eyeshadow is looking like on the top. For the bottom, I'm just gonna take this brown shade. Again, it's not very pigmented, so I think it's okay for the lower lash line there. Definitely looks nicer on the lower lash line. Brought it down a bit too far, so just wiping that away, cleaning it up. Then I'm gonna go in with this light pink color just to blend out the bottom. Make it a bit lighter. So that's what we're looking like for right now. The lower lash line is serving me a little bit of a bruised vibe, but with the mascara, I think it'll look nicer. Okay, so now I'm gonna try out this Essence liquid liner. It's just called Liquid Ink Eyeliner Waterproof, and it's a brush applicator. So I'm just gonna try this out off camera because who the fuck can apply eyeliner on camera, and I will be back to let you know what I think. Okay guys, so this is the eyeliner done. I will say that I actually really like it. This eyeliner was like $3 and it is very precise. It's not bleeding and it dries matte. This may be my new favorite eyeliner, y'all. Like, okay. I'm not mad at it. The angle on this side is a little bit wonky, but I mean, they're sisters, not twins, okay? So now I'm gonna go in with this Essence Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil and fill in my eyebrows, and then I'll come back and let you know what I think. But the eyeliner is a win, okay? One sec. Okay, I'm not done filling in my brows yet, obviously, but I will say I immediately wish that there was a spoolie on the end. I'm definitely one to like do this and then switch and do the spoolie. So I wish there was a spoolie. Instead, on the other end, I don't know what this is. It looks like literally nothing. I thought it was a sharpener at first, but it's not. So right away, I do wish that this had a spoolie, but I will be back. Okay, so this is what my brows are looking like right now. I'm still going to use the brow gel in them, but my thoughts on this pencil are mixed. I do like it. I will say I think the color might be just like a wee bit too light for me, but I feel like the next shade up might be too dark, so I'll probably just stick with this color. I do like it. And then I will say I've had to roll this up like a lot, so it's very creamy, and that's good. It makes the application process easy, but I've just had to stop and like roll it up like a lot. I think like 4 times between doing both of my brows, so it makes me wonder like if there's enough product really in here. So this is it rolled all the way up, so I feel like I wouldn't get that many uses out of this, considering I've had to roll it up already 4 times just in one use between both of my brows. But that being said, it is only I think like $4 or something, so it is affordable, but I'm just not sure. Like, I'm gonna keep trying it and see how long the product actually lasts me. But the product itself I do like. At my store, I think they only had like 4 colors or something, so I'm not sure like if you fit one of these colors. I think it's definitely worth a try. I just don't know if it's gonna be like my new holy grail, you know. But moving on from the brow pencil, I don't know if I said I got 02 light brown. So moving on from the eyebrow pencil, I wanted to try this Nyx Brow Glue on camera. This is one of the products that I've tried before and I do like it. So pulling it out, I don't know if you can see that, like it's sticky. Like you can tell right away that it's kind of goopy, but it makes your brows like stand up and like stay up. So I really like this brow gel. It is Nyx. Like if you're familiar with the drugstores, at least here in Canada, like Nyx isn't the most affordable drugstore brand. So this I think is around like 10. Actually, I don't really know. I think it's around $10, 12 maybe. But that being said, the only thing I have to compare it to is like the Patrick Ta brow lamination, and that's like $30. So this is definitely a much more affordable option. And this brow in particular, like it always fucking plays me on the end here. Like the brow hairs do not want to stay, so I always smack like a couple extra strokes of the product in there, and it lasts so well, guys. Like this, if you haven't tried it, it's such a good brow gel. Like especially if you like those like up feathery brows, like this totally replaces like soap brows in my opinion. Like the bushed up look isn't necessarily for me, so I trim my brow hairs, but like they ain't going nowhere. Was that English? But like they ain't going nowhere, so I really like that. So moving on from the brows now, I do have a couple of mascaras that I'd like to try. So if you look at my lashes, I don't know if you can tell very well. They're not the best lashes, but I did get a lash lift and tint maybe, I want to say around 6 weeks ago. It was the week before Christmas. So I am almost due for another one, but my lashes are still pretty lifted. So normally my lashes like go straight down and like it doesn't really matter what I do. Curling them helps a little bit, but like I find that the curl doesn't necessarily last all day. So I did get the lash lift and tint just for full transparency here. But the different mascaras that I'm going to try today, I think I'm going to do one on each eye just for funsies. I am going to put false lashes over top of this, but I'll show you how the mascaras look on their own. So this is the Maybelline Lash Sky High mascara, Lash Sensational Sky High. So I saw this all over TikTok, really wanted to try it. And then I really like the Essence Lash Princess mascara, like I mentioned in my last video, so I thought I'd try this one. It's also by Essence, but it's the Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. So we're going to try that on this eye. So first going in with the Maybelline Sky High. This is what the brush looks like. It is kind of small and more bendy than I thought it would be. Just using my Laura Lee Los Angeles mirror. Hopefully y'all don't get too like reflected or anything. This does seem like a pretty wet formula. in my opinion. I don't know if it's doing a great job separating my lashes right now. It's definitely coating them. It's a bit clumpy. It's not doing much in terms of lengthening. I'd say if anything, it's volumizing them. But I wish that they were more spread out. I think that this will be better for a bottom lash mascara. So let me try that. But I find the top look a wee bit clumpy. Let me see if I can zoom you in. Not bad, but they aren't necessarily longer. And they are like a bit clumpy. But that's what they look like. See if I can fix them any. See, I'm actually a big fan of going in with like multiple mascaras because I've got like the Benefit Roller Lash would take these clumps like right out. Okay. I mean, I think maybe that's a bit better. I mean, it's not my favorite by itself. It's great for the bottom lashes. Like I think this will be my new go-to for bottom lashes. But the top, not my absolute favorite, to be honest. Like they're just a bit clumpier and shorter, like not serving me everything I want it to. So putting away the Sky High and going in with the Essence. This is an interesting wand. It does look like there might be little fibers. It's definitely drier than the Sky High right away. Oh, I'm getting some specks falling on my face. That's not a great sign. That might be those fibers. Another mascara that seems pretty good for the bottom lashes. Like the wand's not too big. I just poked myself, so I'm gonna have to fix that after. It does seem a bit too dry. So it's coating them. It's not clumping them. But is it doing anything at all? A bit, but it's not great at volumizing, in my opinion. This is supposed to be volume stylist. So I'm going to go in with another dip. Again, it's lash extension with lengthening fibers. So it's supposed to like lengthen your lashes. Is it doing that? I do like this eye more than the other eye. I wish that there was a bit more volume. Okay, so let me zoom you in. I don't hate this. I just wish it was a little bit more volume, and I am getting some black specks. So obviously I poked myself, so ignore that. But I think y'all can tell there's a few specks there. But the actual lashes themselves, I mean, they don't look bad. But compared to this eye, like let's zoom you out a bit and see if we can do side by side. Which mascara would you guys prefer? Okay, so this is what we're looking like after just mascara. Now I'm gonna go in with the Ardell Double Up Wispy Lashes. This is what they look like. So I'm going to trim them and put them on with the black dual lash glue since we've already got the black eyeliner down, and I will be right back. I just want to show you guys quickly while I'm putting them on, like how thin the freaking band is. Like you can't even feel these on the eye. I know because I've worn them before and they're still one of my favorite friggin' lashes. Like it's a clear band so you can paint it black if you want to, but it's just so thin. Like they're the best lashes. So let me show you what they look like on. Okay, so this is the lashes on. I have to tell you, I am obsessed. I definitely went a little bit too far in on this eye, especially compared to this eye, but I still think that they look amazing. Like these are my favorite lashes on me, at least. I know other lashes look beautiful on other people, but like there's just something about these. Like they don't even compare to like my most expensive lashes. Like these are it for me. These are my favorite lashes. They're like $6.97 or something at the drugstore, and you get multiple uses out of them. So I definitely love these lashes. The band makes them so easy to apply because I'm actually really fucking bad at applying false lashes, and these gave me no issue. Like just pop the glue on, wait about 30 seconds, stick them on, like no fucking issues, ma'am. Like so good. Don't they look pretty? Oh, so good. Now, I think that's it for the eyes, guys. The eyes are done and looking good. So now we're going to move on to some more face products. I've got two bronzers to try out. One is the Revlon Skin Lights and the other is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. So Milani is in shade 02 Sunkissed and the Skin Lights bronzer is in shade 110 Sunlit Glow. So this one on this side, this one on this side. This is my Morphe R14 brush going in with the Revlon Lights bronzer. Just gonna do a couple of swirls like that. It's looking nice and buildable so far. I just went in light second layer there. I think that looks nice on my skin tone. It's not overly dewy. I tend to go a little bit more heavy-handed on the bronzer and I bring it in sort of far. So that is the Revlon Skin Lights bronzer. I'm liking it. I think that looks nice, guys. Like nice and natural, blends really easily. Like, okay. I really like that, and it's got like a subtle shine to it, so I'm digging that. Let's try the Milani bronzer on the other side. I'm going in with a similar brush, but it's the BH Cosmetics number 2 brush. Gonna start off with the same thing, just a couple swirls in it. It does look like it picked up more product. The Milani one has a little bit of a scent. Almost like the Physicians Formula scent, like a coconutty. Am I crazy? But like very, very faint. Just very faint. It's blending out nice. I feel like this one blended out like ridiculously well though. So. And this one is you know, it's so weird. In the pan, like the Milani looks like it's gonna be so much cooler. But on the face, it's not really picking up that way. Am I nuts? Like, I feel like this, at least in person, is pulling a bit cooler, but they're not that different. But let's build up the Milani one a bit more. Sorry, my hair is on my face. Oh, I literally just went and did the other side of my face, but there wasn't much product on it. There wasn't much product, but I think both, like, you couldn't really tell that I have on two different bronzers. Like, could you? I think they're both really nice. I think this one is a little bit more, like, what's the fucking word? It's not dewy, but it's a little bit more, less matte. Like, it's less matte than this side, a little bit more satiny. But yeah, considering I just went over this side with the wrong brush, oops. But it looks really good. So both of these bronzers are a win in my opinion. If you could only get one though, I don't know why, but I'm really feeling the Revlon Skin Lights one. I will say I do think it was a little bit more expensive than the Milani, but don't quote me on that. So I mean, either you can go with whatever's cheaper, but the Skin Lights, it's just something about like having like more of a glow to me. It's a little bit more glowy. Like the Milani is a matte, all matte bronzer. So that's my opinion on those. Next, we've got a couple different highlights we could do. We've got the Revlon Skin Lights, the Blossom Glow Wet n Wild, and Precious Petals. I do think Precious Petals is a bit too dark for me. Sorry, it's reflecting. I swatched it before and I think it's a bit too dark for my skin tone right now because it is the winter. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the Wet n Wild Blossom Glow as an inner corner highlight and then do the Skin Lights on my cheeks. It's a little bit more muted than I like my inner corner highlight to be, but it is working. It's just not as like in your face as I usually do. Maybe let's put this one on the tip of my nose as well. Okay, so you can tell like it's there. It's just not as crazy reflective as the highlights I've been into these days. It definitely does what it's supposed to do. It's pigmented enough, like you can tell that it's friggin' there. But let's try the skin lights now on my cheeks. I'm just gonna go in with the Sigma Tapered Highlight Brush F35. Just gonna do a light little dusting. Looks like it picked up quite a bit. Just gonna lightly brush that. Ooh. Yeah, she's there. But it's not like too much, I don't think. Ooh. Okay. I like that. I think that's pretty. It doesn't look like too outlandish. Just bronzing or just blending it in with my bronzer a little bit. But that does not look too outlandish at all. Look at that. Okay. Drugstore come through. Okay, I like this. Now, just gonna do some blush. I didn't haul anything, but I do have this Burt's Bees blush, so I'm just gonna throw this on a little bit. It's sort of like a darker blush, so it more so goes with my bronzer than anything. So that's the face makeup all done. I'm just gonna put in my nose ring. Now, before we do our lips, I want to set my face with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. Try and cover my lashes a little bit. Whew, okay. The mister on that isn't bad. It could be better. Like, it's not like an aerosol spray, but it doesn't have like big drops either. And I will say it doesn't seem to make my skin super dewy, which is what I've been into lately. But it melted everything in pretty okay. Does it look more like skin? I think so. Took some of that dryness away, but I mean, it wasn't looking too bad before, but it's looking real good now, you know? So now I got a lot of lip products in my last video. So we're just going to try a couple on camera, see what goes with this look. Lip liner. I really have been liking the L'Oreal one that I picked up. I've tried it a few times since I bought it. So gonna go line in my lips with this. Again, this is 114 Matting Call by L'Oreal Paris. Well, I got a little bit of a stash going on. If you see that, just ignore it. And I don't prefer really to like overline my lips. I think my lips are okay most of the time. So just filling it in a little bit. It's a very nice nude, pinky brownie nude kind of a color. And then since the eyes are kind of pink, I was thinking about doing the 920 Nude Lust. It's the Maybelline cream lipstick. That actually looks pretty nice. Nice and creamy. I think I want to go even lighter in the center. Let's try the Rimmel London 40 lipstick. I've tried it before. It lightens it up a bit. How's that? I think that's pretty good. Could go even lighter. But do we want to? You know, just for shits, let's do it. If you guys have never tried Maybelline Hot Sand, it's really hard to find at the drugstore nowadays, but it is the nudist lipstick at the drugstore and it is in their matte line. So that's what we're looking like, guys. What do we think? Let me take down my hair and show you guys the completed look. Okay, guys, so this is the completed look. This is what we're looking like. I think the skin looks pretty good. A little bit dry. The eyes actually turned out pretty nice thanks to that e.l.f. Little brown shade that helped me deepen everything up. But I think it turned out really good. Like, we didn't really have any major duds this time around. I will say the thing that I didn't like, probably this Makeup Revolution palette. Like, the shimmers were beautiful, but the mattes were just too light. Like, I don't know if you're super fair maybe, but I tend to be on the fair side of things. So, I don't know. For these mattes to not show up on me, a bit concerning, you know, a bit concerning. The L'Oreal foundation powder, I'd have to try out some more. First impressions, though, it looks pretty good. The eyebrow pencil, maybe the NYX Brow Glue, amazing. This bronzer and the highlighters, I think I'm pretty impressed, guys. So let me know your thoughts down below. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.